everyone, welcome back to RachandBellaCrafts. Rachel here. I hope you're all well. For today's video we are going to be talking about hearts. So what I want to show you today is how to make heart pockets, either out of book pages or out of other materials. So for example, here's one that I've done earlier. This is my stacked heart pocket, and I have used I've used our French kit to make the pockets, and then I've just finished them off with some stitching around the edging. And there are lots of different ways that you can do this, and there are also lots of ways in which we can present them, but I'm going to just really quickly go through with you the process of how I did that. So the first thing you want to do is get yourself a template. I got my template by cutting out, sorry, I hit in my nose, by cutting out half of a book page, and then obviously on the fold though, of course. So I literally just drew the one side, and then I knew I had an even heart. I then traced around that and put it onto a piece of card, so then I got a nice card template. Then I've simply taken, with my other pocket there, I did it with digis, but I've also done it with a dictionary page here. I just placed the template over certain parts of the page. So for example, this one here, I printed this wrong, it's come out upside down on the other side. So I'm going to cut this. This is a new kit that I'm working on for Design Team Project. I will put the link in the description box. It is one of Brigida's again. I remember I recently did the botanical journal, and I used one of her beautiful kits then. And this is another one now. I think the Etsy page is called Blatt Creations. So if you want to check that out. And this is the Blossom kit. There is a pages kit, and then there is also an ephemera kit. And you will see lots of that over the next few days as I carry on working with it. Now, I'm trying to mass make with everything I'm doing at the moment, because I am actually in the middle of making 3 journals. I am going to mass make the covers, I am going to mass make the pockets, but obviously for each individual kit. So there we are, we've got a lovely image there now. When you're cutting out your pockets, however many you're going to do, if you're going to make a stacked pocket like this one, you need to think about the front pocket and its image. The rest at the back, yeah, you want them to look good, but they don't matter so much because you're not going to see them so much, if that makes sense. Because once obviously you pop items in, they're really, you know, out of view. So it's the front one that you really want to be aiming to have something. So that's why I wanted to capture that beautiful dragonfly on there. I think I'll put this one here to get these lovely flowers if I can at the top of the heart. There we go. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm making 3 journals at the moment. I've been inspired by Mum. Bella, she made that beautiful quilt covered journal recently, and we've been sorting out all of our quilt sections because they're on sale at the moment in our vintage sale on Instagram and on our Facebook page. And I know some sections caught Mum's eye, and she's like, oh, I'm inspired, and off she goes, and she comes back with 1,000 ideas, which is fantastic because she's then inspiring me. So I'm going to have a little go and see if I can do some quilt covered journals as well. They may not be quite the same way that Mum did hers, but that's great, you know, they all need to be slightly different, don't they? But I thought to myself, right, I've got a couple of kits I want to work with, so while I'm doing one, why not go for 3? It may all end in disaster. It may take me 3 months, who knows? Hopefully not, because I've got another design project to do next week. So I'm just hoping that if I'm doing 3 of everything at the same time, it'll just cut down a little bit of the time. But we will see. We'll see if that works or not. It is the most gorgeous summer day here. Summer has finally arrived here in South Wales. My little dog, he was sat out on the lawn enjoying himself this morning, and he's that warm, he's come in, bless him, of his own accord, which he never does. And he's gone and sat in his nice cool bed. So it is rather warm. Okay, so here are the 3 pockets I've just cut out of that kit page. If I was clever, well, yeah, I could probably get another one there. I mean, if you weren't overly concerned about patterns, realistically you could get 6 out if you know, 6 out of a page. Sorry, I should have mentioned, when you're making your template, obviously make sure that it's going to fit comfortably onto your journal page. Should have said that at the beginning, sorry. So yeah, I only need 3 because I'm only working with this style pocket, but if you want to make more you can. Okay, so what I then did next was I have a catalogue that I've had with post. It's just a very nicely, I don't even know what it's for actually, but that doesn't matter. And I took some of the pages out of the centre, and I stuck the pockets onto this to back them. Now, you can put them in as paper if you like, but bearing in mind you're going to be putting items in and out, it's probably advisable to just back them with something, but not cardstock, I wouldn't say, because it's going to then start bulking out your journal straight away. So I just found this was the perfect thickness. This is just a, like I say, just a catalogue. It comes through the post, and I stuck 4 onto mine. So I think I had them like that, I think. Oh, I got them on there. Yeah, something like that. There we go. You can just get 4 on that square page there. Okay, so that was my next step. Then after I did that, I then took them over to the sewing machine, and I've stitched around the edges of them. Now, you'll have to excuse my stitching on one of them because the bobbin went halfway through. But then I just found it easier to do it on the whole card. So I literally just did one at a time, and I put each one through the needle. So these are now ready to be cut out. And then we'll go on to the next step. So this kit that I've got here, this is one of the other kits I'm working with. This is our Roses to Redemption kit, which I think we put out, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't worked with it yet. So I'm just in to have a go and just see what it's like. I don't like putting out kits that, you know, even Mum or I haven't done something with. So I'm going to try and get a journal done with that as well. So I would like some of these lovely heart pockets in that journal. Now when you take them off the page, you might just be with, I tend to just stick them under my cutting mat to just flatten them down, because I find whenever you're stitching an unusual shape, it always tends to want to curl. So yeah, if we just cut these out a second there. I do hope you're all keeping well, and that the sun is shining where you are. Like I say, it's been quite shocking to go from, we were all in jumpers 2 weeks ago here, and wellies and coats and hats and hoods because of all the rain that we were having, and it was cold. We were still lighting the fire one evening last week. I think I still had the fire going because of how chilly it's been. But we just got up the one morning and it was like, oh my gosh, summer's arrived. Now, I don't know how many of you know much about Wales, but if you visited Wales, you'll know we have about, oh my goodness, 20 days of summer a year, or at least 20 dry days, I should say, a year. No, it's not that bad. It's a very wet place. We do get a lot of rain, but probably not as much as people make out, but we certainly don't get a lot of hot days here. So when we get them, we like to try and get out and enjoy them. So I know I haven't done a video for a couple of days. I do apologise, but I've actually been out in my garden doing my gardening and mowing the lawn because of all the rain. And of course, when we had that bit of heat and a bit of sun, it shot up again. So second cut then this week, but that's okay, that's all good. And yeah, just trying to get out and enjoy a bit of fresh air while we've got the weather to do it. We seem to be quite late this year having any, sometimes last year we had a really nice Easter and May and April, but not this year. It was very cold. Right, let me just move those out for a second. Put those down there out the way. Okay, oh my goodness, I've cut things out and I've got nothing here. Here they are. Hello little dude, you okay? These up again now. Right, so there we go. So we've got our hearts. This is a really, really simple process. I'm not going to overcomplicate it, but I am just going to explain. You do have options. So this is your journal page, and these are your hearts. They're ready. They're all cut out, and you can now simply stack them. So as I was saying, thinking about you know, the patterns on your paper, I wasn't too worried about the one at the top there because obviously it's not going to be seen very much. So as long as it matches in with my theme, but I was thinking perhaps something like that. Now obviously before I stick them down, I'm going to want to go around and ink the edges with my my dabber. Oh. Now one of the other options that I considered when I was putting my pockets together earlier on was that obviously you don't have to stack them in this order. You could put them on the page and maybe you might want to pop them in that kind of a position there, or you might want to add another one in which case you could do a stack of 4 like that. Now obviously you just need to be careful about where you're gluing, so my advice is before you glue your pockets down, pop your tag in so that you can see where you're going to need the pocket to be accessible, if that makes sense. So, and then that'll just give you an idea then, so when you're gluing, you know, leave that, don't stick by there, or, you know, you can stick it by there. So for instance, you know, you might want to stick, I tend to do most of my sticking at the bottom section of the heart and try to bring it up just above where the, you know, where the roundness, the wide bit starts, and then you know you've got it pretty secure then. So when you are sticking them onto the page, sorry, start with the top one. So let's go back to the simple one a second. If we're going to just do them in the line, so you start with the one at the top there. I would glue this section here and here, and then that would be in place there, and then take the glue right up to that section there just to make it nice and solid. But obviously when you're putting the glue inside, try to stay on the very bottom edge, otherwise when you're popping your tags in or your ephemera or whatever else you've got to go in there, you know, you've still got a nice deep pocket. And then again, when you put the next one over the top, again the same sort of thing, so just place that over the top there and then take the glue up to around here, and then again you can get your tag down into the pocket there without you know, losing the space at the bottom. And exactly the same then with the third. So again, if you're going to do you know, a different pattern, again just think about your glue lines and where you're going to want to stick your hearts down to make them nice and secure. Another idea for you quickly before I go is to use a different media. So obviously we've used paper and digi kits for this, and you know, as I've shown you here, you can do it on book pages. This is actually a beautiful dictionary page that I had sent to me from my friend Valerie. She's on our admin team for our Facebook group, and she sent me the most wonderful Happy Mail package last month, and I think this is one of the last pieces that I've got left because I have pretty much used everything. I've never had so much useful stuff come in the post. It was fantastic. So thank you for that, Valerie. There's one of your, I've made some hearts now with the last bit. But this is another example of what you can do. Please excuse my stitching on my quilt pieces. My sewing machine was not playing ball this morning. But you can make, if you've got quilts, you can cut some hearts out of quilts, and you can make nice simple pockets out of these. Again, you'll just have to think about where you're gluing. Obviously you want to be able to get in, but you need them to be fixed firmly to the page. If you wanted to, you could even stitch them to the page and then back the other side to cover over the stitching. Or you could stitch them onto a page and then stick the page in, if that makes sense. So, you know, that might just make them a little bit more secure. If you are using fabrics, again, you could do exactly the same thing with just fabric. You could stitch fabric onto paper, again, just to make it a little bit more easy to, you know, get your ephemera in and out. And then obviously once you've put them on, the last one, you would want to, you know, you can add some bits and pieces to that, just embellish the front pocket. Again, don't worry about the ones behind because you need to be putting things in and out. So I will leave your pockets that are in the background plain, just for ease of getting your ephemera in and out. We've got a couple of beautiful examples here of different ideas that you can do to embellish your fabric pockets. These are some wonderful little hearts that Bella made last week for our sale that we had on Instagram. So if any of you have seen the pictures, these are the hearts. But aren't they fantastic? So again, look, she's covered some quilt that we had, and she's covered it with some really lovely vintage fabric underneath, and then overlaid them with lace, and she's added a little embellishment on top of that with ribbon. Isn't that gorgeous? And this one here, and I mean, these are really you know, simple ideas, but they're so effective. I mean, if you imagine opening a journal, you know, opening a page in a journal and seeing these little pockets like this with lots of lovely little pieces of pretty ephemera in, you know, you're going to think, oh my goodness, you know, how lovely is that, you know? And I think it just really adds something extra to your journal as well. Obviously with the quilt, you are going to have a little bit of thickness to it. So if you are aiming for a very, very slim and svelte journal, then obviously stick to the paper and the card. But if you don't mind, you know, a little bit of bulk, and you don't have, you know, and you've got plenty of space within the spine, I would definitely try out some fabric or quilted heart pockets, because they are just super cute. And my gosh, you have so much fun decorating them as well. Okay, so that's it for today. That's all my hearts. I hope you all have a really good day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions, just pop them below in the comments box. I just want to thank you all so much for all your support over the last couple of weeks. Our subscriber numbers for our channel have continued to grow, and the views on all our videos being watched is going up as well. So yeah, it's really been very encouraging, and I do hope that you're enjoying what we're bringing for you. And if you do have anything that you want us to cover on in a video, please don't be afraid to drop me a line, and I will do my very best to try and do a tutorial for you. But other than that, have a great day and enjoy the sunshine. I'll see you all very soon. Bye now.